Almost 2 years ago, I lost one of my YouTube channels. Now, thankfully, it wasn't my main one. I would have been devastated. I would have taken everything I had to start over, but thankfully, I caught it in time and was able to save my YouTube channel. How did it happen? Well, stick around in this video and I'll let you know, but you can see it on the screen. YouTube removed it due to impersonation policies. Now, there is a lot of fear mongering going on when it comes to YouTube and employment, and whether if people, all I hear is how dumb somebody is for doing YouTube because of the unstable nature of the economy. But I feel like that's a lot of things that we can compare it to. It's always good to diversify income, but I want everybody who has a 9 to 5 to think about, do you have additional income? Do you have a supplemental income? Does everybody have a second source, or are you all putting your eggs all into your 9 to 5 basket? Believe it or not, YouTube is a Google. It is a huge part of of not only the creator economy, but the American economy as well, right? So it's a lot to lose, and I understand that people are. It almost happened to me, so I understand it. But the purpose of this video is to show you why it happened, how you might be able to avoid it, and a lot of the times you have to be familiar with YouTube policies. Now, there is some discrimination. I've seen huge YouTubers like Corey Kenshin get copyright strikes. I've seen it happen to small creators. So nobody's completely immune. Although I do think that YouTube favors, if you can make them money, they favor you. The more you make them, the more they turn the other cheek. Look at what happened to Mr. Beast last year. It came and went, and he's still doing this thing like literally like bulletproof. You know what I'm saying? So it does happen, and there is some favoritism. There's no doubt about it. But as you can see, and this is the channel I was telling you guys about. Now, I've never seen this screen. I clicked on it for the purpose of this video, and they allowed me to appeal it. I'm not going to appeal it. I'm just going to deal with it. I've started a new journey. I made sure that all of my ducks are in a row for the new channel, and I'm not even going to appeal it. But you can see here that NFL Syndicate was removed for YouTube. It says your channel, NFL Syndicate, wasn't following our policy on impersonation. We moved it to protect our community. If you think we made the wrong call, we'd be happy to take another look. Begin your review, blah, blah, blah. Now, I'm going to tell you what I think happened and why this happened, and then we'll go over what the YouTube impersonation policy is. Back in 2023, the YouTube decided they got the contract for NFL Sunday Ticket, which used to belong to DirecTV. So I had a channel that was called NFL Syndicate. It used the avatar was the NFL logo. It had a Lombardi trophy right in the center, a silver one, and that was it. NFL Syndicate. I even used the background for NFL Game Day on my banner. But when we look at the impersonation policy, there was no confusing it, in my opinion. What I think happened is YouTube, and this is what people, how you can, it can be a little scary and, a little dangerous. YouTube, I think what they did is they wanted to bring all of their attention to the NFL Sunday Ticket. And in order to do that, they start wiping out NFL channels. I had a friend of mine who had over 6,000 or 7,000. He lost his channel due to impersonation. Could not get it back. He had to start over. Thankfully, less than 2 years later, he surpassed where he was. I did help him get some of his core audience back. Basically, he disappeared. We talk about the same thing. People were blowing up my YouTube feed looking for him. I had his number. I reached out to him. He didn't even know his channel was gone. So it is a very scary place. But if you are aware of YouTube impersonation, then and other YouTube policies, you can avoid this. Now, in defense of YouTube, I did get this email that they were going to be coming out with this new policy. All right. I don't think I read it or didn't dive into it, which is 100% my fault. I think that it went under impersonation? I do not, but me not being up to speed is my fault. What is impersonation? Basically, the long and short of it is this. All right. If you're posting content, says don't post any content on YouTube that fits any of the descriptions noted below. Channel impersonation. A channel that copies another channel's profile, background, or overall look and feel in such a way that it makes it looks like someone else's channel. The channel does not have to be 100% identical as long as the intent is clear to copy the other's channel. Personal impersonation. Content intended to look like someone else is posting it. All right. If you create a channel, a fan channel, make sure you state explicitly in your channel name or handle. It should be obvious to your viewers that your channel doesn't represent the original creator, artist, or entity your channel is celebrating. All right. Now, they give a bunch of examples, and I will link this as the pinned comment in this video. But I'm going to show you how I wind up saving. So we see this message here. They're giving me essentially 5 years. 5 years, because that's when it was removed on September 1st, 2023. They're giving me 5 years. Now, this coincides with the beginning of the NFL season. So anyway, got to be careful. Yes, YouTube. I'm not going to fearmonger you guys, but you got to be careful. You do have to be careful. And diverse income would be great. But just to be terrified and all this other stuff, I mean, you could buy houses. You can do a lot of things from YouTube revenue. All right. But I want to show you something as well. We're going to go back to the studio, and I'm going to show you how I was able to fix all of my channels that have to do with the NFL, because it was only happening to NFL content. And what I was able to do, I wind up for my main channel here. And this is, if this would have left, I would have been absolutely devastated. At the time, I had probably just under 20,000, maybe somewhere between 15 and 18. I would have been devastated. Wasn't nearly making the money I'm making now, but I would have been absolutely devastated. If you look at what I was able to do, I said in my description, because I put it in both places, in your about section, in your channel handle, in your channel banner, you should make it very clear that you are not. I was also using, in all of these channels, I was using the Lions logo, like the Lions logo, the NFL logos for the team. So to me, it was very clear that it was a fan channel, but YouTube didn't look at it that way. I said this is a fan-driven channel and has no affiliation with the NFL or the Detroit Lions. All videos are from a fan's perspective. The thoughts and opinions are not endorsed by the NFL or the Detroit Lions and should be reviewed for entertainment purposes only. So that was the about page, but that might have been not have been enough. So what did I do? My handle, okay, is actually Lions Fan Syndicate. So it's in the handle, it's in the banner, a fan-driven brand, and it is in the description that this is 100% a fans channel. Now, had I lost, thankfully, that channel, NFL Syndicate, had it had like 350 subscribers. It wasn't monetized. We were just starting. Wasn't a big deal. But I remember once I found out that my friend's channel had been removed and why it had been removed, his name was had Detroit Lions in it, as did mine. This used to be Detroit Lions Syndicate, and I dropped all the city parts. We have multiple syndicates, and I've dropped. So in this case, if it was Kansas City Chiefs Syndicate, it would be renamed to Chief Syndicate, right? Dropped it. I was able to save all the channels that were making money. I wind up saving all of them. Thankfully, I think about it all the time. But even with that being the case, I'm still not going to fearmonger you guys and be like, oh, you can't, be careful. And anybody people make tens of thousands. They make millions of dollars from AdSense. AdSense is very back. I don't know if you guys were around for Logan Paul, that whole fiasco, but that's what made AdSense or getting monetized so tough. Logan Paul, you literally can thank Logan Paul is an example of how a big YouTuber can hurt us. And Mr. Beast is when it doesn't matter. It didn't matter at all. But from that moment on, advertisers started pulling out. And then before that, it was something called Adpocalypse. So it's happened, and it could happen again. But this is before YouTube Kids. This is before YouTube has done a lot of changes since the Logan Paul fiasco. So I think maybe 5-10 years ago, it would have been scary to do something like this. To me, I'm only scared if people are going to keep watching my content. That's it. I'm not really scared about being demonetized, even though it happened. It literally, I could have lost my channel, but it would have been, do I think it was fair? I don't, but I know it was 100% my fault, because if I would have I remember getting the impersonation emails. Like, not that I was impersonating, but hey, these policies are coming. Make sure you look over your channel. And I'm like, impersonation? I'm not, what are you talking about? I didn't even look. So 100% my fault. I don't think it was fair totally, but it was, I could have done something about it. So I went, changed all of these, got rid of the Lions, somebody created this for me, official logo that's officially mine, did all this stuff, got rid. You can't even tell. Only thing connected to the Lions is the fact that it has Lions. That's it. So when I started Lion Syndicate, impersonation was not a thing. That's why. But it became, and I think it all correlated to YouTube TV having NFL Sunday Ticket. But I can't prove it, but I think that's why it is. So I lost the channel, but it doesn't matter because thankfully that channel didn't mean anything, but it was a lesson learned, and I was able to save everybody else's channel. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Any questions, let me know.